Welcome to my channel. I'm Susie, owner of So Girlie Fun, and in this video, we're going to be making the Tuesday Tote by Knotted Threads. We're also doing the add-on method for the clear tote as well as the alternative strap method. This tote is absolutely adorable. You don't have to make this in clear tote. You can also make it in waterproof canvas. You could do different vinyls, cotton canvas. There's so many options also on the add-on package where you can do recessed zippers. It's just so many things to look at. You have to check it out. Look how spacious this is. This is great to take to a beach. I just love this bag. The size is just perfect. It's not too big. I don't think it's too small. So grab your pieces, your instructions, and your notions and come join me and let's go ahead and sew this bag up. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start talking about the pieces and things you'll need to get started. So I have two different color threads right here. I've got one that's black that'll match my webbing, and I have this really pretty variegated blue that will go with my jelly vinyl. Just give it a pop of color. So if you feel brave, you want a pop of color. If not, then try to match as much as you can to your jelly vinyl. So I also have my pattern weights here. This thing starts to curl on you. So I have two exterior pieces is what the instructions calls for. And I have TPU. I prefer TPU over the PVC. I can crush it, squash it, and it still comes back with its shape. It's a little bit easier to work with in my opinion, but again, it's preference. I also have the bottom piece we're going to need, and this is jelly vinyl. You can also use regular vinyl if you want to. Just be aware that you're going to see the wrong side of the vinyl inside the bag because this is a see-through bag. So just keep that in mind. But again, preference. I'm also going to do the top binding. So I went ahead and cut myself out a piece for top binding. This is going to go on the top of the bag. I'm super excited. We also need two straps. I chose the 1-inch webbing, and this is about 36 inches each. And of course, we need our trusty lighter so we can singe the tips of it and make sure it doesn't start fraying like crazy on us. Got my Scotch tape, a magic Scotch tape, and that's going to be my marker to mark on the webbing the dimensions that we need to sew on. I also have my double-sided tape. This is the 1/8 inch one. This is by Waywack, and I really like this tape. It's my favorite. And of course, a girl needs her lipstick, and we're ready to go. Okay, so now we're ready to put together the straps onto our bags. So let's get this all set up and ready. So we're going to grab our two straps and make sure you've cinched the ends of each of the straps so we don't get a fray, because once you put these bad boys on there, it's going to be really hard to do it. I do not recommend it. And then you're going to need your double-sided tape. You're going to need your magic Scotch tape. I like how it says magic Scotch tape. Magic Scotch tape. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and measure 1/2 inch from the end of one of the ends. I don't like to draw on my webbing, especially if it's clear. It makes me a little nervous that people are going to see my markings. I want to hide those bad boys. I don't want anybody to see my markings. So I'm going to grab tape. I'm going to set my ruler. I'm going to match it to the grid so it doesn't drive me crazy. And I'm going to go ahead and put the tape over like so. I'm trying to do this. Go. Put on this side because we're going to start stitching our rectangle. And if you make it need a little adjustment, just undo the tape. Right about there. Okay, and then we're going to want to do 8 inches. So I'm going to do 8 inches across. The original instruction says shorter, but because I want more support and I really want this strap to hug and be snug against my exterior, I'm going to do 8 inches. So I'm going to put this at the end right here. And I'm going to measure down 8 inches. About right there. Get my lucky tape or my magic tape. I'm going to go ahead and put it on this side because we will be stitching a rectangle from like down here across. So that makes me feel better. Okay. And you're going to want to do that to each of the ends. This end, and of course the one you've already done. and then we'll be ready for the next step. Okay, so now that you have finished marking or taping your marks, we are going to go ahead and add double-sided tape to it. So because I did tape, you don't want to mark or put the double-sided tape on this side of it because we're going to kind of use the tape to help stabilize the bag. And we want to keep our markings there. If not, it's going to be like this taped on, and you're not going to see your markings anymore. The tape's not going to come in handy. So we want to make sure it's not twisted, and you want to flip it to the back. For if you're using tape, if you're not, then I would still use like, between that lines. So I'm going to go ahead and add double-sided tape between the markings. So I'm going to go ahead and move this one out of the way. So start like right there. I'm just going to eyeball the middle. I'm not going to let my OCD come in the way. We're just eyeballing. And because I'm using wax tape, I have to use scissors and snip that like that. Okay, and then you're going to do that also for the other side, making sure that your strap's not getting twisted. So again, we're going to do it this side. So kind of like right there, we're gonna eyeball the middle. Tell ourselves we're just eyeballing it. It's okay. Because we're gonna put so much stuff in this bag, no one's gonna see the straps. Or tape behind the straps. Like behind the scenes straps. And then I'm just gonna scissor that off right there. And then you're gonna repeat for the other strap. Hi, we're now ready to go ahead and start stitching our webbing down to our exterior. So we're going to start at the bottom, and we're going to stitch all the way up again to the tape that we have here and use as a guide to stitch across, back down, all the way back down here, and then across here as well. So we're going to stitch this at 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So I'm going to start it and take off the bottom piece of tape. We really don't need that. Okay. And I'm going to make my stitch length a little bit longer as well. You can go ahead and take off that top tape as well now. This one. Okay, and there you go. So we've done this side. Now we will repeat and do the other side and the other exterior as well. Okay, we're ready for the next step. After we have attached those straps to the exterior piece, you're going to grab your bottom piece, which is the jelly vinyl or whatever vinyl choice you wanted to do. Remember, it's going to show through, so make sure you choose wisely. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and this is our top, and this is our bottom of our bag. This is important because your straps, not only because it's directional, but So we're going to go ahead and attach the bottom like so and line them to the bottom of your exterior. So your jelly vinyl and the bottom, and we're going to go ahead and clip that into place. Make sure it's as straight as possible. I love these little clip things because they don't really like cause teeth marks on your vinyl. Sometimes the little clippy ones, I don't know why, but they sometimes leave little teeth marks on mine. And I get all sad. Okay, so now this is all clipped up. We're going to go ahead and sew 1/4 inch all the way to the bottom, just one side to the other, and back stitch the beginning and the end. Okay, take 300. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, now we're probably right. Now we're ready to sew this up. You're like, yeah, right. We know you. Take 300 it is. Okay. That cinnamon roll box is in the way. All right. Trusty back stitch. Okay. We're going to cut the ends. Oh. Ooh, we have one side done. And this is what we have so far. All right, we're ready to do the other side now. Same thing as the other side. So we're going to go ahead and flip this. I'm going to flip this piece up, and we're going to make sure we're doing it right sides together. And we're going to line the bottom of this with the bottom of this. Bottom of this and this. You're going to line up the bottom of your exterior piece with the bottom end of your bottom piece. And we're going to go ahead and pin this, and we're going to sew this at 1/4 inch allowance. It's like sometimes like a tongue twister to say the seam allowance. I don't know why. I'm like, blah, blah, blah. There you go. Oh, this is going to be so cute. I'm really liking this blue. Okay. Woo. Here we go. We're going to back stitch. And then full steam ahead. Make sure it doesn't shift on us a little bit here. And then back stitch. Here we go. Yeah. Cut the thread. And this is what you should have right now. And then we're ready to go on to the next step. Okay, so now is the time we're going to see our beautiful blue variegated thread. And hopefully I make it look good. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and top stitch along this edge and along this edge as well. 1/8 allowance. See, I got it. Okay, I'm going to make sure that we're going to have to maneuver this in here. Woo. Okay. So you gotta pull it a little bit, then that's fine. Okay, here we go. Back stitch. Oh, this is funny. It's making it like fatter. And just take your time and go slow. It's okay. It's not a race. I'll try to speed it up sometimes, and yeah, you can tell where I sped it up. Okay, so make sure nothing's in your way. This thing is pretty long. See, my strap is already trying to bamboozle me. I'm going a little bit fast. I like the way it squishes it. It's kind of cool. Okay, I'm just going to back stitch a little bit. Voila. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. I like the variegated blue. It's really pretty. See, gave a little pop of color. And we took our time. Okay, now we're going to sew the same thing on this side with top stitch. 1/8 of an inch. Yes, my brain went wet. Back stitch a little bit. Oof. Like I thought my machine was going to yell at me in a minute. I'm like, what are you doing to me? Okay. There we go. Now it's munching. Munch, 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 munch. It's funny, like watching him eating. Totoro is so cute. My machine's going munch, 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 munch. There we go. I just make sure it's spread apart, but you don't want to push the material. You want the machine to guide it. So I'm ever so gently. Try not to make it upset. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. Yeah, we back stitched a little bit. And we're going to cut our threads like so. There we go. And as it hits me in the face, we're going to do the other side. You didn't see that. Okay, so that's what it looks like so far. We have top stitched beautifully. And we are ready for the next step. Okay, so now we're back to do the next step. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this right sides together and line the sides and the seams. Make sure everything's perfectly lined. And then we're going to clip the sides. And then we're going to stitch just these sides, not right here, but just this side and this side, 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Oh, I sound so smart. Okay, I'm excited for this bag. This thing is, I love it when you're doing this and it's coming together. And you can feel the TPU kind of, the TPU always wants to stick together. So make sure my seams are lined up. So I'm gonna clip, 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 clip. And for good measure, I usually like to clip like this way, just for, security issues. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on this side. Make sure my seams are lined up perfectly. And I like to put a clip on each side of the seam. I don't think this is going to slip at all, especially where the TPUs are meeting together. You can see that it's pretty much like snug. They're kind of sticking together, which is great. I get too carried away with the clip sometimes. That's okay. Whatever makes you feel safe. Okay. So you're going to do the bottom here. And again, I'm just going to put that clip thing here. Okay. Again, we're going to go ahead and stitch 1/4 of an inch seam allowance on each side. And we're going to backstitch. It's kind of funny because like sometimes it's a little hard to see the lines. I forget, like the clear vinyl, you're like, whoa, that thing is clear. Okay, we're going to go slowly because we have this. Want to make sure it doesn't shift on us where the seam allowance meets together and sandwiches. There we go. Back stitch. Go ahead and cut our ends. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing to this side. Okay, right where this thing is, we're going to make sure it does not shift. There we go. Perfect. I'm like peeking through, making sure. Back stitch. Go. Cut our ends. A little extra clippies. Okay, and we are ready for the next step. Okay, this is a great time to go ahead if you're going to use a snap or whatever your choice is to close the bag to make your little hole. So I went ahead and found the center across my bag, and then I went down about an inch or so from the top where the instructions tell you how far down to go that she recommends. So, or whatever you feel comfortable. But I went with the instructions, which is like a little past an inch. So make sure you look at the instructions to see exactly what the number is to go down. Okay, so now we're ready for the next step, which is we're going to go ahead and square our bottoms or our corners. So in order to do that, I went ahead and made like a little center mark at the end, and then we're going to match that center to there and make a square. And hopefully this will work with me. Work with me. There we go, in the center. Yeah. Kind of debating if I want to use these clips or maybe the other clips. No, these clips are pretty good. I thought this was going to be kind of tough to do with the jelly vinyl, but actually it's not that bad. Pleasantly surprised. And I'm just going to put an extra one right where because it's pretty thick there. And then I usually will do just a clip on the side right there, just to make sure I get more support on holding it. So it's going to end up looking like this. Okay, so I went ahead and did it to the other side as well. So now we're ready to stitch it at 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. And we're still using our blue. And you probably can't see because my bag's in the way. I'm so sorry. Sorry. Here, I'll switch it this way. Wait, you still can't see it. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and back stitch as well. Okay, and again, we're going to do the other side. 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Like, wait a minute. Ah, that's fine. Sorry. Like, which way do I have my clips pinned so I can easily remove them? Go ahead and back stitch. Okay. Clip our ends. Knot our fingers. And there you go. All right, so we're done with that. I went ahead and added an extra stitch, just like 1/8 in, just to, make sure it's reinforced. And now we're going to go ahead and turn it inside out. I'm excited. Okay, so grab the corners. And you're going to pull it out. And grab the other corner. I'm going to go ahead and pull it out. I'm going to go ahead and move the camera a little bit. Ah! Lied. It's like, no. It's like, no, I don't want to see you. Okay. All right. And pull it. You used to watch my live videos. I don't have like great finger strength. Kind of poke out the corners. Just be really careful, because you don't want to over poke, and then you end up with a hole in the bottom of your bag, which I have done. I'm sure this sounds great. There we go. Just make sure it's nice and corners are poked out. Come on, corner. There you go. Oh my gosh. Super easy and super fun. Here we go. So you can either decide to fold it in like this and stitch, or you can add the binding, and I'm going to add the binding and give it a decorative flair with my blue variated thread. So here we go. That's the next step. We're going to go ahead and add the top binding. Okay, so we're ready to attach the binding. So we're going to go ahead and use our double-sided tape. This is the 1/8 inch. And we're going to go ahead and tape around the outside and around the inside. So I will show you if I can find the end of this thing. Ah. Okay. So just go around and around along the edge. Of your bag, like so. All the way around. And around we go. Okay. And then you're going to do the same thing for the inside. So you're going to go on the inside and tape in there. Okay. And with the seam allowance right here inside, I just open it up so because I don't think I want to push it to one side. I'm just going to sandwich it open. Oh. So that way it's not such a big, thick bulk. Like this. There we go. Go inside. Keep going. I know it feels like it's never going to end, but they will. Go. I'm going to spread. Oh, that one went faster. I went ahead and split those seams. And go around. Around. There it is. There's the ending. Okay. Here we go. So now we're taped inside and we're taped on the outside. Okay, we're back with my other clippies. Now I don't recommend clipping these and leaving them clipped overnight. So if you're going to do this, make sure you're sewing pretty much right after you clip them, because these might leave permanent teeth and might look like Totoro was trying to eat your bag. That's why I recommend after clipping them, you sew them on. Keep going. You gotta show this bag who's boss. Okay. I just want to make sure this is lined up pretty well so I don't miss. Last part, I'm like, get in there. Make sure it's all lined up. So and the reason I'm trying to make sure it's lined up is because I want to make sure I catch both sides. You do not want to have to unthread this and then try to catch them later. It's not gonna look great. So make sure that's what you're doing. And there we go. Okay, making sure it's all pretty much matching up. Okay. We are looking good. We are ready to stitch around it. Okay, everybody, we went ahead and finished sewing up the binding, and we went ahead and attached our snaps. So I'm not using magnetic, I'm just using the plastic snaps, and we are finished with our tote. Isn't that so adorable? I think it's so cute. Thank you so much for joining me and watching my tutorial. I appreciate having you, and I cannot wait to see your bags. All the information for everything I've used with materials and notions will be in my description. Thank you so much to Shannon for allowing us to do this wonderful marathon with exceptional sewists. Everybody's bags looks just beautiful, and I've had so much fun making this. This is actually my first Tuesday tote. So thank you again, Shannon from Knotted Threads. We appreciate you. We love your patterns. And we cannot wait to see what other patterns you're going to come up for us.